And this is the homework. We did these in class. I know on one of my class we did that one, and we stopped at number 7 on one of my other. Just want to make sure everyone used proportional, not proportions, but ratios of corresponding sides. Proportions will work too, like you learned in 7th grade. But the high school teachers, for whatever reason, later on, they said they'll need to learn corresponding ratios. So if you look at this, this is 2 triangles, 1 triangle and 2 triangle. Okay. The big triangle is obviously this one here. All right, so we know that Tanya, here's Tanya, that one is 1.3, and she stands 7 foot in front of the tree, so she's 7 foot away from the tree, 7 meters. Sorry, that's 7 meters. She's 1.3 meters. I'll put it on the other side. Okay, and then she meters and casts a shadow of 1.8 meters long. So she casts a shadow of 1.8 meters long. How tall is the tree? Okay, so Tanya and her shadow. Okay, Tanya and her shadow right here. It's 1.3 and 1.8, and here's the triangle. And then the tree to the end of Tanya. Okay, so here's that line right there. Right here, this whole length is 8.8 meters because you add them together to find this whole length. Now we can use corresponding sides. My other class I taught proportions, which now this and that, that's the tree right there. That's this tree. So I'm going to put T for tree. So 1.3 is to the tree, and Tanya is to the tree, and then the shadow is to this distance right here. So the shadow is 1.8 to that total distance. And then you do proportions, you get 1.8 T equals to, I have a calculator here, 1.3 times 8.8, you get 11.44. You divide by 1.8, divide by 1.8, T equals to, divide by 1.8, 8.35, repeating. So the tree, they ask, how tall is the tree? The tree, always answer the question. After how tall? The tree is 8.35 meters tall. Okay. This one, Stephanie casts a shadow of, okay, here's Stephanie. Okay. She casts a shadow that is 1.2 meters, and she is 1.8 tall, so 1.8 tall right there. Okay, so a wind turbine casts a shadow. So wind turbine, so here's a wind turbine. It's much taller. You know those wind things that, okay, the fan thing. It casts a shadow that is 10 meters. So that wind thing is tall. At the same time, Stephanie measure her shadow. Draw a diagonal to this situation and then calculate how tall the wind. Okay, so you want to draw a diagonal and calculate the wind turbine. We'll put W for wind turbine. Okay, W equals to wind turbine, okay? All right. We solved that. Stephanie is to the wind turbine. 1.8 is to the wind turbine equals to the shadow of Stephanie to the shadow of the wind turbine. 1.2 to 10. Okay, so we cross multiply. 1.2 equals W equals to 18, divide by, because that times that is 18, by 1.2, divide by 1.2. So if we use a calculator, I have a calculator because I'm at school, 18 divided by 1.2, we get exactly the wind turbine is 15 feet tall. How tall, calculating how tall the wind turbine is. The wind turbine, I'll spell that, is 15 meters tall, not feet. Okay, and that's how you do that. And then number 9, this is a typo. Okay, number 9, I did this in one of the class. But if you did not, here is the first triangle, that triangle. Okay, so we get 9 and 6. That's PVW. And then the big triangle, if you don't see it, it's right here. The big triangle, we got a lot of information on the big triangle. This is 12 right here. This whole thing is 18 because you add them together. And this whole thing is 22. So we can find the length of this length right here. Okay? So because we can do 9, well, let's use corresponding sides. This corresponds to that. So we'll use X for that. X represents PW. So X over 22 equals to, this is to 12. 6 to 12, that's half. So 11, X is 11, right? So PW is 11. 12X equals to, this times that, 12, 13, 2. Divide by 12, divide by 12, X is 11. So PW right here, the length of PW, X represents PW, the length of PW is 11. Okay, and I think I have taping of these on my other ones. I believe I do. So watch the other tapings. Skip the one taping that has the stuff that's not relevant. If you look to the other tapings, they have these. Find the one that works, all right? Okay. I don't want to continue because it takes a long time to upload the longer I record.